Dum 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 dum. Daily game design time. Welcome. I have a few concrete goals this morning, and I'm excited to make progress. So the overall goal is to make sure that the ADRA HQ is as ready as possible for a little meeting by. Well, the meeting is in about 3 hours. So I'll make sure to get some of the ideas we had yesterday between me, Mike, and Legends. Then um, I think there is a little breakthrough actually after that little brainstorming sesh. Primarily having to do with what the fact that event cards should have a benefit. So it turns out that that's just a really helpful idea. And then the possibility that perhaps players, if they can't play, then something other than draw a card happens. It could be draw a card from another player's deck. It could be trade cards. It could be um, um, I don't know. I don't want to get too many like once per game ideas going. It's got to be very simple, very streamlined. So anyway, we'll process some ideas related to that question of like, what if you cannot play on your turn? Okay. The other thing I would like to look at is what games I have prototypes ready for. I know I'm going to have Sugar Shack ready for next week. I realized this morning that next week, not by this time, but next week, Tuesday, I will be on my way to Dallas. So first mainline convention, BGG Con. I'm excited to meet some people, play some games, play test some games, have my games play tested. So I think all of these things sound good to me. So I thought I'd do a quick inventory of the games that I could have ready. And even thinking back to some of the older prototypes I have. I have one that I think I've called it Oil in My Lamp. Anyway, it was themed around the the parable of the 10 virgins. So I probably wouldn't, or the 10 bridesmaids. So I probably wouldn't present it that way. I was even thinking very briefly this morning about a retheme. I also don't know why Discord gets hung up sometimes. So I have a few ideas to test out, some cards to tweak with ADRA HQ, and then also want to think about these prototypes. Another thing was we had our regular Monday last night, and nice group of people. We had 3 tables going. We had some first timers. We have some people settling in as regulars. We have some regulars back, and just had a very nice time. So we elected to play Ahoy. Ahoy, you may remember, is a game I played last week Tuesday, and learned it over at Other Realms. Our friend Juice taught us, and I played with Juice and Jacoby. So last night, I kind of felt like introducing it to my friend Chris, who it turns out really likes that kind of interaction, the kind of like very direct competition for resources or points. He likes being clever, likes being sly. I wonder if he would. I wonder if now that I've seen, or now that we've played and he's familiar with it, I wonder if he would actually like the mollusks a little bit more. Those are the ones that just pop up and they have these cards that make their actions more powerful. Or anyway, you can be a little sneakier with those. I wonder if he would even more so enjoy playing the mollusks. Well, one moment I wanted to highlight. Should I do this? Probably not. Anyway, okay. So there was a moment during the game when I made a mistake toward the end, and I misordered uh, the use of my dice. So I was going to attack, and one thing you probably want to do is place a die in your cannon slot so that you have the possibility of having a stronger attack. So I moved into a situation where I would be in battle, and then remembered that I should have a cannon die ready to go. Well, I moved first, and then I thought, oh shoot, I forgot to put the cannon die in there, and the other player said, oh no, you already did the thing, and you know what? I think I want to own my mistakes, so I think I'm more ready to say this was the first time. If I take it back, or if I beg to take it back, or if I lobby the table to take it back, then maybe next time it'll be less memorable. This is not the case with Magic, because sometimes I just forget triggers, and I think, you know what? No, I really just need to learn. I forgot again. I really need to just accept that, you know, like I have to learn this game more deeply. Well, anyway, in that moment, I mean, I would prefer, of course, like, well, actually, I come from a family culture where it was very much a card laid is a card played. And, you know, you have to stick with the rules, very, very serious about rules lawyering. And I don't think that's the fault of, I mean, it is the fault of my dad, but I don't think it's a problem. I think it did create an atmosphere that wasn't very there wasn't a lot of like warmth at the table. You know, it wasn't loose. It wasn't like, hey, we're all here having a good time. Oh yeah, sure. You want to take that back? Go ahead, no big deal. It wasn't that. It didn't lend itself to that kind of camaraderie and like goodwill at the table. Even though maintaining rules is very important, I felt like, okay, it's a little too competitive, a little too edgy, and I think I probably internalized that. And I think the way that shows up even later is it's something like, I wonder if I have all the icons I need in here. Yeah, I do. I got plenty. It's something like, I'm learning from this person of influence in my life that this is really important. And I think I mislearned what's important. So it's probably like the stakes are very high. I think that's probably what I internalized. The stakes are very high. You don't want to mess up. Otherwise, you're going to lose your advantage. You know, and if you do, you're a loser. I think I probably internalized it like that. Rather than, you know what, rules are helpful. Everybody should play by the rules. If you mess up right now, it's all right. Try again later. But what's important here is learning and maintaining the rules. That's a kind of more positive spin maybe, but it's still not the attitude that I like to promote at the table at this point. Okay, so here is the application of one of our ideas that came out of the discussion yesterday. So I'm going to add icons. I'm going to add icons to the event cards. and I don't know how many yet. But one thing I'm thinking is, what if I just... Because what I realized this morning is that actually this is a form of wild, right? If the card had all of the icons, that's essentially saying this is a wild, and you can overpay, or you'll be overpaying, but you actually have 5 icons to work with. But I think what I'll do is instead, let me rotate everything. I don't think there is a great way to rotate, because I think these rotate all together. Oh wait, no, there is. There is this. Yeah, I can just rotate everything back. I forgot I could do that. So what I think I'm going to try is, rather than like a full-on wild, like you get all of the icons, I think I'm just going to add 5 to each for now. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. So I want... Okay, where's a challenge? So this is a challenge card. I want these to be switched, I think. So the current order is like this. Okay, what I want is for this card to... Oh, I know, yeah. Sometimes I do have some spatial challenges, I have to say. Okay, so this is what the card... This idea of what the card could look like. And I'm going to take and use 5 of these. Well, I'll drop this in here. Drop these guys in here. Oh, why are those different sizes? Just because it was 4? Okay, so I think this is an idea. This can die. And this is no need for that. All right, now I'll come through with the icons. And what I'm thinking is that I may not have like a super great system here, but I think I'm just gonna go 5 like this. And these are fairly common icons. How close are they to the edge? They're fairly close. So I'm not even checking distributions. I'm just gonna cycle them like this. I do know for sure that the icons on the right side of my screen are more abundant. So I think I can just do this and just let these icons that are slightly more rare, let them be the focus of these cards. Not in every case, like there is some difference. But now what happens, and I think this is very easy to understand, so I'm excited about that. But when you complete an event card, the active player gains this card to their hand. And they can use it, they can spend it as a wild. Not as a wild, I'm sorry, as they can spend it just as a resource card, but noting that they have all of these icons available on the card. So it effectively acts like a bomb. And my hope is that they would recognize, oh, you should probably hang on to that for when there's a tough icon out there. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. So thanks, Legends. This was coming from your idea. So far, so good streaming off my new phone. It's been very solid. I wonder if there is any difference, if there's an upgrade here in the connection, or if it's just something. Actually, I streamed all day yesterday. Not streamed, but I was in Zoom meetings all day yesterday. And I don't think the connection ever fumbled. I think it was smooth. I think it was clear. So this might be amazing as an improvement, quality of life improvement for making sure that I'm, that I'm well connected here. Of course, this means that I should have. No, I was going to say I should have a lot more event cards. I don't need more. I don't think so. But let me share 39 through 43. It's crazy how just one idea, it just takes one idea for that kind of progress. I mean, if the players now, I think if they apply decent judgment, if they spend these event cards at opportune times, I think we avoid multiple turns of one person not being able to participate. I mean, we make it, again, way less likely. Each of these things that we've tried is about just making it less likely that that's going to happen. I don't think there's any way around that happening at this point, because I think we're maintaining a nice sweet spot of simplicity. And most of the ideas that we've thought through so far have to do with, I think, more advanced mechanics. But here, if you can discard cards for this event card, and then the active player gains it to their hand, I think that's like really easy to process. And the fact that the icons are right here, they're going to be in line with the icons on the challenge cards. I think it should be very clear that the player is able to just play it from their hand for any number of these icons. I mean, these icons just count as an icon. So when it comes to that point in the game where people are starting to struggle to get the right icons, they drop this icon bomb, and it makes me think it should actually be a slightly harder game, because this adds a lot of flexibility potentially. So I think that's pretty important. Like, to think about how to make the game, whether or not to be sensitive to whether or not we need to adjust some of the settings for the difficulty levels. Yeah, I think this is really good. I think it's a great step. So What I don't remember is if I need to make if I need to make a event cards. It looks like I do. Yeah, that's easily done. So here I go. Replacing these 5 with the new 5. Boom! Love that. Save that and then export, and then we're ready to update. Event cards ready to update. Screentop.gg. There it is. There's Ahoy. That's wild. This should be pretty simple in that I think all I need to do is replace this asset. At least that's what I hope. What folder is that? I should probably be deleting these if I'm not using them anymore. Do I need to do a save as? Oh. Downloads ADRA HQ. Okay. I'm surprised it didn't push the folder up here. Like, why didn't it do that? There we go. Oh, that was it. It would be great if that was it. And it might be. Let me see what the event cards look like. There they are. Incredible. Let me see what they'll look like in play then. So here are challenge cards. And it'll just look like a regular card. Just like that, drop it in there. All the other cards, they come in as usual. So you could play them just like this. Oh no. What happened? How is the order different? Dang it. What? Is it just water, food? Are those the only, is that the only difference? Let me shoot. Also, the size is a little different. What the heck? It looks like water. I just need to get all of these in order. And I mean just lay them out so that I have all the icons showing. That's silly. So water, food, shelter, medical. That's the last one. Water, food. That's silly. That's like how did I get them mixed up from whatever this? Maybe I just I wasn't paying attention to the details. So water. Is this it? Are these the only two that need to change? Water, food. Water, food, shelter, medical, tools. Okay, this is different too. Tools, books, seeds. Water, food, shelter, medical, tools, books, seeds. Water, food, shelter, medical, tools, books, seeds. Okay. Got it now. I'm going to come down here now, and then it needs to, okay, how to do this? Okay, it needs to be in this orientation. And which way to rotate it? Just be back to 0, right? No, I think I want it. Is this 180 then? Yeah, because it needs to be played like that. I think the icons also needed to be slightly bigger to be in alignment. So I don't think I'll be able to really size them. They just need to be. This needs to be a little trial and error here. So I'll inflate them. I have that little song. It was kind of a TikTok song maybe. Steve. Steve. And your friend Steve. Okay. So I'll still do this. Oh, actually, let me just add them all. Nope, let's resize first. But this is going to mess us up. Is that about right? What I guess I could do, I can do this. So I can zoom in and do like a screenshot thing. Just to get, spread out, right? Get one card that's spread out. Screenshot it. And your friend Steve. So I'll still be eyeballing it, but at least I have the full range of the full width of cards. So card size should be similar. Okay, and then, whoa, those are pretty big. Does that mean I can only have 4 on each card? It looks like it. Huh. Okay, turns out I can only have 4. That's okay, I guess. We'll leave shelter up here for now. Because the focus does need to be the 4 rare icons, I believe. I mean, at least that makes sense to me. That's the 4 rarer ones. But I can still switch out, like I can do this. Like still switch in the shelter one, right? Here are these guys. Uh-oh. You need to copy all 7 and then drop all 7. Okay, the first one's good, so I'll shift everything down over here. Nice. I can do one more, because I do think, well, I don't know. Food and water, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of it, but just in case there's not. I mean, I can look at the distribution again, but I think it's very rarely. Oh, I'll do the food one. I'll do food. I mean, down to food. No, I don't know. I can just do one that has all 3 of the more common ones. How do I... Why doesn't it let me do... How can I get the spacing to change? Because it should be all 8s. Oh, there it is. Okay, nice. Center these. Group and center. Okay. So they're not as wild as I was hoping, but they still, I mean, they're still pretty strong cards. I think this probably does mean I need to have a couple more at least. I don't know. Also, why is this cut off? All right, let's try sharing again. And the hope is that these are in the correct order and that they also have the correct size. so that they get along with. Wait a minute. It is 5. Okay. Yeah, they're not as wild as they should be, and I think that means making sure at least 2 of these cards are in each that they're in. So save the deck and export. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Yep. That looks pretty good. Let me try this one over here. Looks good. Oh, no it doesn't. Because these should not have any space between them. Is it worth changing it? It might be. Let me look and see if the size... What in the world? Let me see if I can fit all 7 in now. Oops. Okay, here's the 7. Okay. Make sure that they sit together. Now, can I fit a 5th? Yes, I can. Goofy, but it's better than not being able to. Okay. Okay, this is better. It's worth it. It's better. It's worth it. It's just funny. It'd be nice to notice this stuff like right away. Oh, I guess what I could do is just do this. Bring this guy down here. Oh no. This is making the game better. Okay, first one's done and it goes all the way to seed. So now this one is going to come in and sit on top of it. Get rid of this group and then bring food down. Okay, love it. This one, I need to delete seeds first. Oops, now send this one off the edge. this one be the same as, not the first one, but the second one. Okay, so this is definitely an improvement. Why? Because what we wanted was more of these icons available on these cards so that they are almost wild. We wanted them to be almost wild. And the way it was looking until I realized the sizing issue, or the spread of the icons. The way it was looking is that they were limited to 4 icons. Now we have 5 icons on the card, so that's better. Welcome on Twitch. Those, and then go through this little process again. It's really pretty awesome that it's so fast to do this digital prototyping. I actually, we had another guy come on Monday or Monday night last night that is cousins with a good friend of mine, Andrew, and I heard about this guy from Andrew because he is also interested in game design, and so he came by and we talked through the possibility of doing some playtesting, and I guess he and his friend have been working on a game for a couple of years. And you never know. Now at this point, I feel like when somebody says I've been working on something for a couple years, just never know what you're gonna get. And I think it's almost more of a problem if somebody's been working on something for a long time. I mean, it's less like, hopefully it's more mature as a game. If it's not, which I think can definitely happen, it's just like practicing guitar in a horrible way for 10 years. Like 10 years of practice and learning a thing in a horribly inefficient way, that's not going to be good. So there they are. Those are lined up. Should they be on the very edge? Probably. Yeah, I'll do it. What in the world? Okay, so he says they've got this game, working on it for a couple years, and sure, we'll certainly sit down and play test it. And he sounds like he's super open to feedbacks, which is great. I think it's almost maybe I'm being a little snobbish here, but if it's clear that a person will not take feedback, I would almost rather not play test. And actually, no, I would go into it in the same way that I did with this other guy's game. And I asked, what kind of feedback are you looking for? He said, oh, we're not really looking for feedback. It's basically done. Okay, so it's a demo at that point. And in the case of this other guy, I ended up giving feedback because, in my view, the game was not going to work. And for you know, and I'd only played once. He'd play tested a whole lot, gotten a bunch of positive feedback from people. But in my view, from what I could see, the game was just not going to work. It didn't work for me, and I doubted it would work for other people. I mean, certainly not experienced people, and that's maybe the kind of troubling thought. Because I'm not super experienced, but I am a lot more experienced than the majority of the world. And that just has to do with the number of games played. That has to do with the the fact that I practice design a lot. I think I'm developing some skills and tools that allow me to be sensitive to my experience in very important ways. It doesn't mean that my experience applies to everybody else, or that it means that my assessment of every game is absolutely correct, but I think my sensors are fairly well calibrated. Still learning, of course, but they're better calibrated than they were before. That's the first thing to say. And then somebody who doesn't do, who is not as involved as I am. So again, doesn't mean my assessment's going to be dead on every time. But it was really interesting to go into what I thought was going to be a playtest, and it was a demo. And in my view, it should have been a playtest. So I ended up giving a bunch of feedback, and it was essentially unsolicited. And he said, "Oh, cool, thanks. This is working for me. Maybe your ideas are interesting, but this game is already pretty much good to go." And I feel like I could have thought to myself, "I told you so," when he ran the Kickstarter and it didn't fund. I don't think that was the only issue, gameplay, but it made sense to me that's the kind of game somebody would be nice about, but then would definitely not support. So that's the tough thing. I don't know what that looks like exactly. Like there are definitely things that I've made that somebody would be nice about, but they wouldn't invest in. And it could be my music, it could be my sauce, it could be games. But just being aware that there's a big difference between somebody making you feel like they had a nice time. There's a huge difference between that and they buy your game. Isn't that the case? There's a huge difference. Or there's a potential gap. You don't know. They're nice. They help you feel good about yourself. They help you feel good about the game. And then in the end, they don't support it. And that's a real thing. So like, how do we reduce that gap is the big question. So that's feedback and playtesting. That's maybe anonymous survey administration. It's that kind of stuff. See, this wasn't so bad. Watch this. Bam. Now there it is. It's all nicely lined up. That's great. Okay, so I've got a little time here to rearrange the the table a little bit. Okay, first responder. These are going to go back in. Don't know what this is. Oh, I think... Oh, wait a minute. So the HQ card is going to go there, and then these are going to get piled again. What I don't love right here is, I wonder if it's a resolution thing. It's not exactly. It's something like that, but oops. Oh, you know what though? These don't sit nicely together. And so you can actually see where these cards come in. Oh. Maybe it's okay for now. Okay, I don't remember if I need to update any of these cards. I still think it's not. It's not incredibly intuitive. This idea of two actions. Certainly not intuitive for non-gamers. This I think is better. Okay, so now it's if you complete. Let me shrink all of this actually. Maybe. Okay. If you complete a challenge card, if you complete an action card now, if you complete an an event card. An event card, sweep away the resource cards and add the event card to your hand immediately. Nice. Maybe I'll kind of highlight it like I did complete a challenge card question mark. Sweep it away. Sweep it and resource cards away immediately. Complete a challenge card, complete an event card. Sweep away the resource cards and add the event card to your hand immediately. Let's make this another color. Let's go purple and let's go green. Yeah, on your turn. Oops, didn't mean to do that. actually fits. I don't think this will change anything. Nice. Cannot play a card, draw a card, and pass the turn. Can play a card. Do 2 of these things in any combination. Play a card, refocus HQ. Play a card and play a card. Refocus HQ and play a card. Or play a card and refocus HQ. Should I just say turn HQ? I think just taking out the thematic language might be good in these early sessions. Turn HQ. So the way I could use that language is to say, like as I'm teaching, I can say, you know, turn HQ to refocus it. Turn HQ to focus on something else. So I think that's pretty good. On your turn doesn't need to be so big. Cannot play a card, draw a card, and pass the turn. Can play a card. Do 2 of these things in any combination. Play a card and turn HQ. Complete a challenge card, sweep it, and resource cards away immediately. Complete an event card, sweep away the resource cards, and add the event card to your hand immediately. These can also be bigger. What size? 12? Too big? Maybe not. By the way, Tagalog for water is too big. Too big? I think everybody knew that, right? No? Da, 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 da. Nice. If it's 3 lines anyway, it might as well be this size, right? Like it could be a 10. Let's see what happens with a 10. Bam. Hmm. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to stick with this one for now. Character abilities. Ignore in focus rule. Dr. May, use one free turn HQ per turn. Turn HQ per turn. Hand size is 6 cards. Play any number of cards during play a card action. Yeah. As I said, I think there should always be 2 at least. So we'll go down to 10 and then 2 and then 3 and then 9. Sure. Wait. Should I go 3, 9 like this, 3 and 9, and then 4 minutes? Hello. Gonna love that. Okay, it should always be 2, at least 2. Yeah, I feel good about that. No character abilities. Yeah, I think everything else is good. Okay, so I need to... Let me see what kind of assets these are attached to. All right, I do have an info cards thing. Yeah, okay, so 1, 6, 5. I guess I could just do them all again. So 3 through... Okay, 3 through 7. Cool, get rid of these. Do some extraction. Okay, almost there. Then we'll see on your turn, transform before our eyes. There it is. Good. Okay. So I think this is it. Just set up the table. I think I'll do that just to get it out of the way. And okay. So let's start with normal. No. Let's start with easy. 6 cards, 2 event cards. I wonder if the event cards do need to be a lot harder to get now that there's a lot more motivation to get them. Because now it's just discard cards, and I don't know. I'll leave it for now, but I think I should probably adjust it. Let me look at the cost. It should probably never be lower than 4, because that would take at least 2. I don't know. It does take at least 2 turns because, 2 meaningful turns, because it's still gonna have to be one person potentially. Well, it'll be like a refocus and then play 1 card and then play 2 cards, or play 2 cards then play 1 card and then the other person can refocus. So it still is a loss. It's still a loss of efficiency for a short amount of time. So that's okay. Okay, so I'll set up for easy. So how many cards is this? So 5. Is 6 and 2. So 6 and 2. And yeah, unfortunately they will not shuffle. But that's okay. I'll drop one of these guys in here. And I doubt there's a way to like toggle. Yeah, I doubt there's a way to like toggle the numbers here. Okay. Yeah, okay. I feel good about this. I think everything is saved. And so that should be good. Just go in there as a player. Play, and let's have a look. Great. Well, I'm going to work on some other things, but I think for right now, that's it for today's stream. Thanks for joining, and I will see you soon.